Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have a crystal ball off to my side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're turning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Before I sat down, I grabbed the Urban Crow Oracle, and I just feel like, I think that's what this is called. I have no idea. I just feel like this is going to wind up being a spirit message because this is the deck that was calling to me, and usually this is like my ancestors deck. So we'll just go ahead and we'll dive right in. We'll see what happens. Okay. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, it's coming through in sounds. Let's see. I need a minute. Alright. Some incense to strengthen the connection. I am feeling like a masculine energy. It feels a little older. I'm seeing like a button-up shirt with a collar, so this is kind of throwing me into like a grandfather vibe. Like grandfather. Yeah, I'm seeing older hands. This is somebody that definitely worked with their hands. I feel that for many of you there was some sort of hobby that this person had that really required them to do their hands, but in their older age it may have been really hard for them to do because of arthritis, and kind of getting like this struggle with like really bad arthritis and being able to do something that maybe they needed to do for a living or something that was just a hobby. I can't tell which one it is. Yeah, there we go. Older gentleman. Okay. It's time to reconnect. Ooh, oh, no way. Some of you guys saw the pictures I posted. The four turkeys, they're following each other in a little line, just running together, and they just left the forest. So oh my god, they're so funny. By the way, they have huge feet. At least I hope they were turkey prints. I saw some prints out front. I saw man-sized footprints, and the turkey prints were almost bigger than the man-sized footprints. I think I have a big bird back here somewhere. So this is like speaking to me about coming out of the forest, coming out of the woods. Like I heard reconnecting from this older gentleman. So you're being asked to reconnect in some way. And, you know, if you're not ready to do that, you don't want to do it, don't take this message. But some of you, you know, you're going to feel this, you're going to know. There's this energy of, for some of you, like, I don't know where to reconnect. And I'm just seeing like these, like, it's almost like these centers to go to, like a library and get connected in some group things, or like going to a bookstore and getting involved in some events that they have, or focusing on hobbies that you have. You like to go nature walking, find like a group that goes nature walking, right? You can always type into like ChatGPT, for example, like what I live in this location, what groups around me meet to do like various things. How would somebody who's trying to find friends, you know, make friends in this area? There's all kinds of ways that you can go about it, right? That's the wonderful thing about the not wonderful digital age. It's the wonderful thing about it. So that's what this message is apparently going to be about from this older gentleman. Let's see. I feel that for some of you, you've kind of removed yourself from a particular friend group. It's not that you're not friends. You just really have cloistered yourself away. I'm getting like this sense of grief. It happened after a time of grief. Maybe a major betrayal of some kind. Obviously, that makes sense. But there's almost this feeling that he's giving me right now of recognizing that, and again, this may not be your message, so be discerning here. Who is coming through is sharing with me that the person that this message is for, that routine that they created, it helped them through a hard time, but it may not be correct for you now, right? It's like that routine is the past following us. So routines are great. Routines keep us on track. It's more the routine of just keeping to yourself and doing these things and never getting outside of these things because you don't want to like open back up. You're being asked by this particular older gentleman to come back to life. It's time to come back now, is kind of how he's putting it to me. This person was pretty wise. I'm going to say that. This person was pretty wise. Okay, we have mimicry and mischief. For some of you, you had people that would kind of pretend, right? They would pretend that they had your best interests in mind, or they would pretend that they were your friend, and then it would just like, they would wreak havoc in your lives after that. For some of you, these were people who it's like they would try to mimic you, like they would try to do what you were doing, and they try to steal things from you, and in the end it's like people always just turn around on you. Right here on mimic, notice how there's a dog, right? So the dog is making me think of loyalty right now, and right now the mischief card is making me think of Caddy. And you know, I love cats, so it's not anything personal to them, it's just how it's coming through right now. And so some of you, there was a little bit of that was going on. It's almost like people would go through and figure out every little last bit of you that they could take, or that they could copy, or that they could, you know, yeah, displace you with here. So some of you, you've been pushed out of groups a lot inside of your life. And so self-protection, right? We had grief from that. There were things that we had to process, things that we had to heal. And I feel like whoever this message is for, you've wrapped up a major cycle concerning this type of energy. And so if you're still working through this type of energy, this may not be the right time for this message for you, okay? But those who this message is meant for now, it feels like you've wrapped up this cycle. There has definitely been a freeze on our life of being drawn to like the way that that car has snow all over it. Is it snow, or is it, you know, it's being surrounded by birds? It might be something else. But there's this energy that it's like the snow is ready to melt. Again, that idea of like moving into spring. Somebody is ready to come back to life now. And not that you haven't been alive. There's been things going on. You've been learning a lot of things. You've been healing a lot of things. But there's this sense of energy exchange that's trying to happen inside of your life. And it feels like that's required for some major opportunities to come in. I'm getting like the word teamwork. So maybe you're somebody that's used to being very independent, or you're somebody that's used to doing everything by yourself. And then there's something about the theme of teamwork that's coming in. It feels like it's going to be important. If you're watching it when this reading is being recorded, it feels like it's important for 2026. Especially, again, I'm being brought back to the spring. Oh, I just happened to notice this. I'm going to say this. I haven't used this deck in a while. You guys haven't seen me use this deck in a while. It's not listed in the description box. This is the Heart of Faerie Oracle by Brian Froud. And here we have the Queen of Day. And so that's the very bottom. And this is making me think of that springtime. It's almost like the spring is long in coming, right? So metaphorical spring now, this coming back to life. It's been a long time coming. You may have even resisted it in some ways. It's like I'm feeling the energy of somebody who, like, yeah, it would be really nice to have a group of friends, or be connected to my family again, or whatever it is, right? For some of you very specifically, it feels like girlfriends, right? I don't know why, but that's the one that's really sticking with me. It would be nice to have a group of girlfriends. But with the number 4, it's like there's been some sort of resistance to that energy because of the past, right? Because of this, possibly what I was getting, the caddy. March will be very significant for somebody, and I'm saying March because I see some sort of a flower up here that's reminding me of like cherry blossoms. So I think March is going to be important for someone. There's a lot of things that we learned. Whoever this message is for, I'm being drawn to her crown of pearls there. So there's a lot of like little wisdoms that someone had learned that you're equipped with now that you weren't equipped with before. One of the things that's coming through, almost like this underlying warning, is remember that people are people. Right? Remember, people are people. And as I'm pulling that, I'm pulling heartless love. A lot of people, they're very self-serving, and it's due to their own wounding. When you go out and you try to network, you will meet people like this. It's unavoidable. That shouldn't tell you that there's something there that's wrong with you, or that, you know, oh, this was all for nothing. You're going to go through that. You're going to go through a lot of frogs before, you know, you find the right person and the right people to be around. And, yeah, again, we have a mischief card coming out with the tink. Yeah, this Fairy of Youth is coming out almost like you know, okay, I'm just gonna say this because we have the Thief showing up also, which is like the time waster, the person that wants to like take things, which is what we already got over here. You know, just remember that this is a major theme, and actually a really big problem with people, is that there's so many people that are just kind of out for themselves, right? There's you know, without going into that too much, just remember that there's good people interspersed in between that, and that's what you're looking for, right? We're not trying to like open back up into networking with some sort of like rose-colored glasses that everybody that comes towards us because we did our healing journey is now going to be some fantastic beast. Like some fantastic mythical creature. You're going out into the same place that you were going before. It's just that now you're better equipped to keep the negative things away, the negative people away, and to spot time wasters. You're better equipped to really recognize good people when they come towards you, because maybe there was something that you didn't recognize about them, or there were signals that you were putting off previously that pushed them away. So, the important thing to remember is that people haven't changed, you have, right? And so as you go out and you start to network and you start to like reincorporate yourself into the human fold, remember that you've changed, and that's the point. That's the point. Let's see. I'm being drawn back to the scavenge card, and when I'm diving into the fact that I'm drawn back to it, I'm being drawn back to this crow is looking into an empty can. Does he find something in it, or is there nothing there? It's almost like your perspective is going to be very important. Moving forward, you're going to recognize how important your perspective is, and that your perspective is really shaping a lot more of your experiences with people than maybe you realize. And that's not to say, oh, this is your fault, that's not your fault. I'm not talking about that sort of thing. I'm speaking about the perspective that you have in terms of what people are bringing to you. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's kind of how that's being given to me. So I'm just going to say that and trust that that lands for who it's meant for. Okay. That can that the crow's looking into is also making me think of this trash can with all this paper coming out. And what is this crow over here doing? Because I feel that's significant. I don't even know what that is. He's picking at something. This is almost making me feel like, there's like this shiny sort of temptation that may roll through. And to remember that the shine always fades, right? It's not necessarily the shiny exterior surface or that charming charisma that you're looking for. It's something deeper. It's values, right? You're looking at someone's values. That's kind of what that's making me think of there. Okay. Not this one. This one. Okay. Again, this is a Stolen Child Tarot. I know someone's going to ask me about it. Okay. He's kind of giving me like these three messages, right? These three things to keep in mind. And the first one was that thing that, people haven't changed, you've changed. Second is that the goal isn't to try to fix or change anyone. And that the third one, which I feel that people have learned here inside this group, is that not everyone deserves access to you. They don't deserve your truth. They don't necessarily deserve, your energy, your time. And so there's a lot. Again, this goes back to that crown of pearls that I was seeing around the Lady of the Day. It's like, or the Queen of the Day. It's like having learned that your energy and your time and your efforts and your love is extremely valuable, and not to give those pearls to swine, right? It's there's this energy coming through here. I have the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Zephyrs. Again, somebody may feel a little stuck. I don't know how to do this. I'm surrounded by danger on all sides. The reason why I'm saying that is we have the Venus flytrap. We have the I think those are Jack in the Pulpits. I can't remember the name of those, the pitcher plants. And then we have all these other sort of like toxic plants surrounding this little fairy frog creature guy. I don't know what he is. But so he's like stuck in this water. And that may be how somebody feels, is like you're a little afraid of what you're going to encounter when you go back out. So you've just been sitting inside your own emotions. Again, don't forget that this emotional water may be really tied to something in your past. So in order for you to move forward, you have to move beyond that. If you're afraid, take your time to be afraid, right? Acknowledge that fear. Start someplace that you feel maybe a little safe, right? Ask yourself, where would people who are a little bit more aligned with my values possibly be, right? We have the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Two of, I think this is the Pentacles in this deck. I think I'm going to say this is the Pentacles. It's the Two of Oak. With the Queen of Swords to the Two of Pentacles, you're going to get past some sort of indecision here. It's like seeing really clearly through some things, but I also think that you can trust yourself to see through other people's BS at this time, right? I think that right now you're kind of on the fence about something, and that'll change. If you're like really stressed out about that, don't be. You know, it's really not the time to make those decisions. That time of year, like you'll make that decision when you need to, and for some of you it might not be until the spring, but right now just coming up with a game plan, right? Figure out different places that you could go, different things you can get involved in. And I think that through taking some time and making that decision and looking at where you could possibly do that, you'll come up with something pretty solid. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that's why I was being drawn to this. It's not the fact that the crow is munching on it, it's this line. It's like this straight line. The can is flipped over. There's all these papers coming out. Papers for me is usually strategizing. It's like going back to the drawing board and then going back to the drawing board again. And then this crow is in front of it, has this straight line. It's like the more that you just spend some time thinking about how you could do this, and you know, rather than stressing out about it and then, you know, starting each day like, oh, I should do this, but I don't know where, and then leaving it at that. Sit down with yourself. Really ask yourself, what do I like doing? What things am I aligned to? What are my values? And then where do people like this hang out, right? What could I get involved in? You know, utilizing, like I said, technology to maybe figure out some ways, whether it's on, you know, a social media app or a phone app, or, you know, using AI to ask what things are available around you. There's this energy that doing that is actually going to create a little bit more of a smoother transition into being able to step out of your comfort zone and networking again. Again, I just keep getting the feeling that whatever routine it is that we have, that for whoever this message is actually for, that this is rooted in the past. It's rooted in the pain of the past, and it's time to move on from that. It's time to move on. Okay. I almost get that in the past somebody would like sort of like follow around or chase after people that were unavailable here. With this, you see that knight that's kind of following her through the woods, and she's just getting him lost. And he's too fixated on trying to win her affections that he doesn't realize that he's just getting lost. And I think that this may be an energy that someone experienced in the past, and you're not going to experience that now, because now the energy that you have is the Queen of Swords. It's this beautiful Queen of Swords. Okay, one more card for the near future. Oh, two apparently. Okay, oh, there's more. Okay, we're doing this. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So this is a new clarity, insights, inspirations. I think that somebody's about to get a lot of insights and inspirations into things they can do. The Magician, it's like within your power to create this. Three of Brine, that's Three of Cups, basically creating a meeting or celebration. This is like unity, right? We have the three that come together. So this is events, basically manifesting for yourself also an event. Like, I want to meet these types of people, and being able to be in that energy and manifest it for yourself. Some of you are going to get into that. Oh, this is an interesting card. I don't even know what this means. I'm not terribly familiar with this deck. Check it out. I like it. I like it. I'm noticing that there's like hoof prints on this, and I was just talking about prints, so there's something about footprints and hoof prints that's important. I don't really know how to interpret that right now, so I'm just going to say it, and maybe that's important for somebody. These two, it's almost like the kinds of people that you meet, you're going to recognize that they're not exactly like you, right? The point isn't to find people exactly like you. That would be kind of boring. These are people that add something into your thinking. It's like people that challenge you to grow in some ways. And I feel that that's a two-way street here for whoever this message is for. It feels like you're coming into connections that help you grow. They help you to experience something outside of the box. Maybe even perspective is outside of the box. Okay, and then we have the Five of Oak. This is the Five of Pentacles. I'm being really drawn. So first, the Five of Pentacles can represent being on the outside, right? Feeling like you're left on the outside. But this is kind of the interesting thing about that. And it goes back to what I just said about this card. this little guy here, he's kind of like hunched over this honey, and he's eating all that honey, but he's got these mice around him. When I see this particular card from this deck, it doesn't make me feel like being left on the outside. I feel like that's a past story for this card. It's like being surrounded by other sentients, other creatures. They have different lifestyles, they have different ways of conceiving of things, but their motives are still the same, right? Their their values here are still the same. They want some honey, just like this character did. And so you're all going towards the same goal, right? I want to say this. People tend to have a view, like an idea of what things should look like. Whatever's going to happen is going to be very different from what you think it should look like. And this is because what's going to happen is actually the best for you. It's something that's going to help you along in your life story to become the highest version of yourself that you can attain. And so there's something really good happening here. And this older gentleman is like... How do I put this? I mixed a little cream in my coffee. That's like... I don't feel like he actually did. I actually feel like he was one of those, I drink my coffee black just like my metal. Oh my god, so much weird stuff is happening in this space right now. Yeah, there's a little bit like a... he's saying something about mixing in things that we normally wouldn't do in order to find the best people for us, because whatever it is that we are used to doing did not bring the best people to us. And so that's kind of what this is giving me right now. And I almost feel that this gentleman, you know, he may have had times in his life where he was really social, but I feel like towards the end of his life, maybe he wasn't, right? And maybe he wanted to be. Maybe he was connected to somebody that wasn't very social. It's almost like there's a reason why he's stepping forward, bringing this message. Yeah, there's a reason why he's the one stepping forward, bringing this message. So if this reading resonates for you, you can probably think about who this might be and why that might be. Okay, I'm going to leave this here because that's all I'm getting. It's like you're ready now to do this. You're ready to disengage from that past energy. You're ready to go out. Just if you find that you're having a hard time do that, just spend some time thinking about how you could do that. And understand that the things that you're attracting to you or the things that you're going to find, they're going to be in slightly unlikely places. So think outside of your own personal box in terms of where to meet people, and know that the people that you do meet, they're not going to necessarily be what you expected, but it's going to be amazing. So whoever this message is for, I wish you the best of luck with this, and until next time.